Welcome back to Half the Battle. I'm your host, as always, Daniel Levy, and joining me now is PFL lightweight champion Raush Manfio. Raush, welcome to Half the Battle.
Thank you, brothers. I really appreciate to be here to talk with you today, Daniel.
Oh, the honor is mine, Raush. So, welcome to Atlanta, Raush. How are you liking the ATL so far?
Thank you, man. I'm loving the city. We are just in front of the Olympic Park. My kids this time is gonna, they will come to watch the fight to Thursday. So we want to go to the aquarium, to the Coca-Cola factory, and eat after the fight. Definitely, gonna make like a lot of good restaurants around here.
Oh, yeah, man. And the Coca-Cola Museum and the aquarium are pretty awesome places to check out. So, definitely do that. I got to ask you, man, how does the heat here compare to where you're from in Atlanta, in Brazil, excuse me, because it's pretty damn hot over here.
Yes, right now in Brazil is a winter. So in my city especially, it's really cold right now. So like 40, 45. For Brazilians, this is really cold, 40 degree. So and here in Atlanta, I like it because Florida is too hot. Here is being really pleasurable for me. I really like it. I like the
Nice.
city.
That's awesome, man. So listen, Atlanta has a history with classic fights. I mean, we're talking Rashad Evans versus Chuck Liddell, Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum. Is it exciting to fight in a place like this where people truly love and respect MMA?
Definitely, definitely. It's always better when you have like an audience who really likes and loves the sport. You have more respect from the fans, and then you give a better show, in my opinion.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but you actually have a bit of history with Atlanta yourself because back in 2017, you fought Chaz Walton, who was the best lightweight from Georgia at the time. Now, he was undefeated as an amateur and as a professional, and he was knocking everybody out in the first round left and right. You handed him his first ever defeat. Do you remember these, Raush?
Yes, of course. After my fight against Anthony Pettis is my favorite fight because I won the Titan FC belt and a tough fighter, and he had finished like you told everybody in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. So I was really proud after the fight. It was my first, worldwide belt. So I was really happy. I didn't know he were from Atlanta, but I to be honest, man, not like because I'm here. I really like the city. It's
Yeah.
like oh, we need to go around after the fight and chill a little.
Definitely, man. And if you need any recommendations for some good Brazilian spots, just ask me because I know every single one off the top of my
Oh,
head. So
yeah, text me after, please, really for real, text me because we're gonna stay here until Sunday night, so we have time after the fight.
awesome. So after your fight with Sydney Outlaw in 2018, you took a few years off and you came back a brand new man and you've been undefeated since. So what changed for you in those few years?
Man, this years I didn't take off on purpose, for some reason God make me wait, and I got nine fights canceled. I 3 months before PFL I was quitting of my career, to giving private classes. I want just fight because I love it, but that dream to become a world champion was far distant from my reality. So I have two baby girls, and I need to provide. At that time, I need to provide to my house. So I was like, okay, I try everything I could in 3 years, and I can't fight anyone. God knows why. And that time, these 3 years totally changed me, and I have made the mindset I have today because I struggling too much. I struggling too much to pay the bills, you know. But I became a strong man, a father of family. My both my daughters born during that time, and I grow. I grow. If you want to be a strong fighter, you need to be a strong man first. So this helped me when I step in the cage back in the PFL. I was ready for everything, and I have fun with the moment. I enjoy. Was not only be nervous to be there. No, I was enjoying because I knew like okay, I'm not even supposed to be here, and God opened this door, so I will enjoy and live one step by time. And I did it, and thank God we are here.
I mean, listen, you've always been a very strong guy physically, but it sounds like in those years you grew mentally. Is that correct, Haush?
Perfect, perfect. That's it. I always been very athletic physically, and but my mind was like, okay, I think compare what I am to now, I was soft. Definitely, I was too soft because that life experience to have to provide to your family, work and training at the same time. I never had this experience before. My parents always helped me in Brazil because they believed I would be a good professional. I always used my time to real training. I always been a really good athlete. I was disciplined. I did everything right. But in my mind, I still soft because life, when life don't beat you, you not get strong. That's so in different occasions, I thought, okay, no, I can't do this anymore, and I learned, no, I can. Yes, I can. So I was like training with the professionals at American Top Team in the morning, giving private classes at afternoon. At night, I got to clean offices at night. So for in every day I did that, and I was like, okay, I can handle that. God make me a strong man, and this in my mind, like, okay, when I grab a fight, I gonna make the guy pay for that. And every day I was growing, 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 enjoying the process, and see how strong I became because of the situations.
Wow. That's pretty amazing, man. So I mean, would you say that there was like one realization or one big moment, or was it every single day was a process in itself to help you get to where you are mentally today?
Man, I have a couple occasions when like I work as a security one day in the Super Bowl party with just millionaire guys and this kind of stuff. And that day they make like a strip club party. So I was totally broke, and I saw they threw in the air like barely $500,000 to the girls. So I was like, man, I can't even pay my rent, and these guys are here, threw money in the air, wasting money with alcohol, and just I told myself like, no, I will make everything, worth it. This process in my life is not gonna be like a history of a defeat person. I gonna overcome in Jesus' name, and one day this is gonna be a great testimony. And I am here to talk with you about this today. So
Yeah.
we all have struggling moments, difficulties, and but if we decide, we have two options, or we can accept, okay, I will live with that forever, or oh no, I decide to be different, and I will pay the price to change my life, and I will start now. And every day, step by step, one day is better than other, and but the resilience is in the process. So definitely, I became a resilient man for sure.
So would you say that no matter how someone is in life, like they can turn things around no matter what?
Doesn't matter what my manager used to tell, like I have a Cinderella story because it was impossible to me be here where I am today. Was God, to be honest, it was God because I was ready as an athlete, but the opportunity sometimes we can't open the doors for us. You can be, you are ready, but the occasion, the situation maybe is not in your favor. But when God decides, like, okay, now is your turn, I step in the show as an alternate of the fighter who are gonna fight right now because I was the alternate of Olivier Aubin Mercier. I step in his place. Then another guy got hurt in the second fight. I almost fought my one of my best friends here, Nathan Schultz, who is in the tournament too, and he is the godfather of my daughter. So and then they changed the fight and put me to fight and against Anthony Pettis, and the rest, we beat everyone, and until to become champion. And but it was impossible. Do you watch that movie who are in broadcast right now, American Underdog?
I've never actually. You recommend it?
Yeah, yes, definitely you need to watch. I am the Brazilian underdog, but this guy, the history is in the football. He did Curtis something, I forgot his last name, and he became two times MVP in the NFL,
Wow.
and he was working in the grocery stores 1 year before, so it was just exact like me, Cinderella story, and after everything, he praised the Lord, and he told God, "It's because of you," and it's what I'm doing here. Like again, I am an underdog in the odds, and I love
Yeah.
it this because I can glorify the name of God. Thank you, Jesus. One more, because it's not about me. It's because what God is doing in my life. I believe. I believe I am
Not
like a good example. Like who like a good example of what God can do in a man's life who really decide to follow His commands. And He changed my life. He never, he, I did the whole process. I struggling, I cry, I did many things I didn't want to do. My pride was completely broke as a man. But when I stand up again, I tear my clean myself from my tears and say, okay, it's a new day, and I need to I need to make my best again. I need to do my best again, and I did it. I did it, and I'm very proud who I became, and I know it's just the beginning. I think I have a more a very long career, and I'm really enjoy the process every fight at a time. Praise God, doesn't matter what, and have fun. Have fun to be here in Atlanta. Is a great moment for me.
No, it's very inspirational, man. And you mentioned how they initially matched you up with your best friend, Nathan Schultz, who is the godfather of your child. Now,
Yeah.
thank God the fight didn't happen, but was it awkward at all between you guys? Because I know you guys train together. I know that it's probably competitive in the gym, but under the lights is a different story.
Yeah, of course. No, we always help each other, and I always play his opponents for the first season. I help him the second season a couple of times too, and was not awkward because he knew how desperate I was to grab a fight. So when I step in the show, he's real my friend. So man, I told you God would make something in your life. He gonna change you, and now He is answering your praise. He just be happy for me, and then I realized how good friend He are for me. This make our friendship even stronger. And even if today we need to fight in the show, we told them so. No, we just agreed to fight each other in the final. No playoffs, no before that, because it make no sense. We don't need the money anymore. So, but definitely would be such an honor to fight him in the final. I wish him the best always, and we help each other every day. I go at his house almost every week. He came to my house, so was a really bad moment when we knew we need to fight each other. It was terrible, but after we swallow like, okay, God is in control. Something gonna happen, and if it not happen, we need to fight. It's our profession. So we always tell we are not violent persons. This is just a regular work. So now is the time to prove. So once when we accept the fact we would fight each other, this become easier, and I grow a lot that moment too in my mindset because I was like, no, no, I don't want to fight him at all. I even talk like, but I couldn't quit because it was my opportunity to be in the PFL. And after I make the weight to fighting him, my manager called and told, "Oh, God hear your prayers. You're gonna fight Anthony Pettis in 2 weeks, but you need to make your weight again." And I told, "No, no problem. Make the weight again in 2 weeks." And he told, "But don't worry because how you make the weight today, they're gonna pay you so they're gonna pay you again against Under Pettis. So I was like, nice. And it was a super exciting moment. I returned to see my wife because last year's has that thing with the pandemic, and we need to stay in the hotel like for 4 weeks. So it was really hard. And here we are again. Now it's a
Yes.
lot better situation. I prepare myself, I think, even better. Have my coach here, have my father here with me. So I'm super happy, excited. My family is coming to watch the fight. I don't know if for sure if the girls are watching the fight because my oldest is 3, the youngest is 1. So probably my mom is gonna stay in the hotel room. But definitely it's gonna be a special moment.
So, I mean, look, when you fought Anthony Pettis, I mean, we're talking about a legend in the sport. This is the former WEC lightweight champion. I mean, I remember where I was when he jumped off the cage and kicked Benson Henderson in the head. Then he goes on to actually submit Benson Henderson for the UFC lightweight belt. I mean, this guy is a true legend. Could you have imagined fighting him, let alone beating him a few years ago?
Man, I always want to fight him, but I thought what this would happen in a totally different situation. Like, oh, one day I'm gonna get in the UFC and I'm gonna be the guys, like the regular dream. I'm gonna, you know, make myself in the rank. Then Anthony Pettis is the champion. I'm gonna try grab his belt, but in a totally different situation. Not that quickly. I was fighting Titan FC, then I got boom, PFL, then I gonna fight Anthony Pettis. But to be honest, I didn't even study his fights too much because I knew his game. I watched like every fight. I was a fan. I am a fan. So it was nice to fight him. It's nice when you see like an idol you have in the sport in front of you, and now you need to fight him. It's super nice. It's super nice. I it was mandatory. I give my best during the fight. I almost knocked him out in the third round, so I think it was a clean victory and a great performance. Me after that fight, I would never be more the same. I thought, okay, I can fight anyone. I can win against anyone.
What does a fight like that, a win like that specifically, what does that do for your confidence, man?
A lot because you always have in your mind like when you fight someone that famous, the guy has some magic power who's gonna
Yeah.
knock you out with an invisible punch. So after you fight and you see, okay, there is no magic. It's not different than the other tough guys I fought. It's just a super good fighter. That's it. Is just stay there and do what you train your whole life, but it has no super magic power. It has no such a invisible enemy in front of you. It's just you go there, fight. So I think has no bigger name than him to give more confidence after scored that victory.
So every fighter's dream is usually to make it to see and become champion, but PFL made it to where, I mean, you can aspire to become the millionaire champion for PFL. So do you at all like, I mean, do you like not care? Like, man, I don't need to fight in the UFC. PFL is perfectly fine for me.
Of course, of course. To be honestly, I want to be like a propaganda boy of PFL for many years. I like the format. I saw they're gonna put some pay-per-view fights. They are growing every year. They are doing everything I think is right. We are on ESPN, and we are climbing to be definitely the second biggest show in the world because the UFC has a couple years in the front. So, but eventually, if PFL continues doing what we are doing, we are gonna be same level than the UFC because they are putting the money, they are bringing the fighters, they are investing. Now we go to Europe, and they really are doing the show being worldwide. So this is what the UFC did in the beginning, and we are going, but I think faster, because this tournament make it is very attractive to every fighter. Doesn't matter where they are fighting. So I think this is always like a really good invite, and I think it's just a matter of time to be like number one and two shows in the world be at the same level.
So after you beat Pettis, you take on Clay Collard. And listen, he doesn't have the same name as Pettis, but he's a super hard fight. And a lot of people thought that that was one of the best fights of the year in PFL last year. So was that the fight that kind of let you know that, like, hey, I'm ready to be a world champion?
Yes, for sure. It was my strongest opponent so far. I think when the fight was over, I knew for sure I won the third round. I knew I lost the first one, and the second one I was okay. I saw I punched more, strongest, but I didn't know what the judge would think because when I slept and he came over me like in the floor, but it was not a takedown, so I was like, who they gonna give the second round? I know I did a little bit better, but was like super tough fight. I would not complain if they give a draw for the fight, and so I was like really nervous about who won. And thank God they decided on my favor. I think the strongest punches was in my favor, and he's a super good fighter. You know, his chin is like superhuman. I think that's his main quality, his resilience to receive punches in the head. So definitely, if I fight him again this year, I gonna have a different strategy to beat him because I punched him really hard, man. I threw my knee on his chin, and I heard like clack. He didn't felt. So I was like, who is this guy? His chin is like an iron, and I respect him a lot. He talk a lot of bad things about me and cursing me and this kind of stuff. But I was like, I am a samurai, you know. I'm here to fight, doesn't matter what. And when I knock him out, I'm gonna give my hand and help him to stand, because this what doesn't matter the person who treat how the person treat you. As a Christian, I'm not allowed to treat the person as the same way, you know. I need always show respect and show what I'm here for.
That's really respectable, man. So do you feel like, because I, as a fan, think that I can see you and Clay Collard fighting 2, 3, 4 times, like throughout all the PFL seasons. Do you view it like that as well?
Man, I think like we have the very uh, competitive game, you know. I to be honest, I think I have the strongest opponent for me this Friday, because the strategy, his fight game. I'm very curious to feel how strong he is in the body lock, you know. Uh, my part of strike, I'm confident I can overcome him. But I think the most dangerous fight for me this season is and against Olivier Albin now. But the other guys are strikers. So Kohler, Stephens, all these guys, we're gonna strike each other until someone falls. So it has no like mystery in the strategy, you know. And I think, yeah, definitely, if he going through Martinez and I'm going through Olivier Albin Mercier, we're gonna fight each other again.
So after you fought Clay, you fight for the $1 million. And look, man, it's every fighter's dream to get a paycheck like that. And listen, you're only 30 years old, man. So a lot of people could retire after something like that. How do you make sure that you still wake up for those training sessions? You're not staying in bed. You
Oh,
stay motivated.
this is easy. My motivation was never for money. I learned that 3 years I didn't fight because I asked myself like, Haush, why are you fighting? Because I still training every day, and I was receiving nothing, and I got exhausted after the training session, and I need to work and give classes. So I was like, why I'm doing that? And I realized like in the very deep of my soul, like I'm doing that because I really love this. So if you ask me 3 years ago, what are you going to do if they pay you $1 million? I would tell like still fighting because I love to do that. You know, I not fight. Of course, it's really good when they pay you good. It's a different perspective I have of my life now. I bought a car I always want to buy. You know, I have a nice car. I can live near American Top Team now, and I can literally walk like a half mile to the gym. So I did now I can make things comfortable for me. But the money is not the reason; it's motivation. The reason is because I think I born to be a fighter. I have this true love for the sport, you know. I am too nervous, excited for the fights. I always get nervous. I always got afraid. My hands like cold sweating, but when my song starts and I walking through the cage, I make that walking out, and I feel all that energy. Doesn't matter if the guys are boo or if the guys are cheering for me. I love that. Like I really want to become a fighter, and I did it. Since my 12 years, I was 12 years old. I won that, and I asked God to please. I want to pay the price. I had no idea because I was asking for God when I told him I want to pay the price. It was a super tough journey. It still is because we need to make the weight, but I think now is regardless the weighting cut is just fun. Now it's just fun. The
Wow.
worst part is the wedding cut. The only part I don't like, I still hating, is this wedding cut. But the rest is just fun because now I have a guy like you make an interview with me. I feel very such an honor to be here talk with you today. So
The honor's all mine,
the
brother.
persons asking me for take a picture, and I want to show the belt, and forever I have that two belts in my living room, Titan FC and PFL, and I have the history. Bring of me, the career is short, we never know when we going to end. I want to fight more, I don't know, 7, 10 years, but we don't know. Maybe in 2, 3 years I stop. So I try enjoy this journey more I can.
Yeah, Whoosh, you told me at the beginning of this interview about those you saw at the strip club throwing 500,000 on the girls. You could be that guy right now. Keeps you grounded. What keeps your head on your shoulders and lets you be as humble as you are?
Jesus, I know how sinful I am. I know how God changed my life, and I'm not a hypocrite. I know I need to improve every day, but everything I'm turned to be is a better man to take care of my family, is being a good Christian as a church, and I try prove to the persons like show like okay I am a professional fighter, but I'm not a violent person in my routine. It's just my job. It's my professional and my profession, and but above everything, I am a Christian. I am a child of God, so I need to honor that. It's very simple, but very difficult, because everything I do, the person's oh you are not Christian. How you do that? If I lost the control and I curse and I made a mistake, like oh you're not Christian, you curse, and this so the persons are always watching you, and especially for be a Christian. So uh, this is my motivating. This is what keep me humble. Is because I know I want to use everything is happening in my life to make the my life with God improve, to help the other persons, to one day be a very good example. Like, okay, I was in your position and you can win too. With God, you can. Make sometimes was impossible. I was just cry at a night, but you can overcome. But if you have God, if you put Jesus first, that's is what rule my life.
So it sounds like, if anything, the $1 million just was more like now you can invest in your career. You can invest in yourself. You have the resources you need for good recovery, for everything you once wanted. Now you have it and you're using it to your advantage.
Yes, of course. Like, if I want to do some massage, I go there. If I make cryotherapy, I make like a IV to repose like my electrolytes once a week, and everything I can do better to recover my body now I can. Uh, like 1 year ago was not possible because I had no money to make this investment. So my body now is stronger than the last season because I could recover more. I don't need to give in private classes anymore, and I can use this to rest. And the process is very simple, but it's hard. Is eat clean, rest a lot, train super hard, but that's it. And dedication, you need to rest. And when you have no money, how are you going to rest if you need to work? So make the totally difference.
So you come back for the next season, you take on Don Madge in the first fight, and man, what a fight that was. According to the scorecards, you were 2-0. You
Yeah,
go
I was
out.
I was losing the fight and the scorecards. Yeah,
It's
I think my mistake for that fight was too comfortable, and I thought he wanna come like to strike in the near distance, and give me space. But when he kicked me, he never hurt me. When he punched me, he never hurt me. So I was too comfortable, but I was losing the fight and comfortable losing. So my coach said, "Okay, do something. We need you need at least a knockdown in this third round. We need a 10-8." And because the first round he scored more points, the second round we don't know, but the third round you need to kill this guy. And once I decide, okay, now it's my turn, I finish the fight. So was my decision. Okay, now I go step in and strike this guy off, and I did it. So it's more we work for this fight this Friday to do what I did in the third round in my last fight in the first one. Take more position, grab more risks. And but because I know I have the power in my hands when I to knock people out. I kick super strong. I have all the weapons to finish the fight fast. So let's be smart. Don't go crazy, but hurt the guy. Go hurt. Make him make mistakes. Do not feel comfortable just because you have the power to finish the fight in one punch, because this could not happen in the last one. So it was a big risk. So, but we're not gonna make this mistake again.
So this Friday, live in Atlanta, you're taking on Olivier Aubin-Mercier, and I mean, we're very familiar with this guy. We've been watching him for years. Very hard kicks. His hands have been getting better throughout the years. He can mix in the occasional takedown or two. And one thing OAM is known for, he gets off to a really good start. So it could be similar to the Don Madge fight in the sense that we know in the third round he definitely slows down a lot, but early he's very strong. How do you make that conscious effort to, like, let's not let him get a round off us?
Yeah, I think when the guy pushed me, I became a better fighter. So the fact he's an awesome fighter. I watch his fighting in UFC. I really like his style. It's nice to watch his fights. But when the guy pushed me, I I I, I become better. It's easier for me. When the guy is waiting for me, normally I take a couple minutes to find my time. But when the guy comes super hard like he does in the first round, it's good for me. I wake up faster. I need this. When the guy push like Jeremy Stephens, Clay Collar, these guys push me, and I wake up. Okay, now it's my turn. So I think that's gonna happen. But I will not waiting for him. I will the guy who push first.
So you brought it up earlier. Once again, Raush, you're an underdog in this fight. I don't know why they keep making you the underdog over and over. Is that exciting for you? Does it not make a difference? Tell me
Yeah,
your
very
perspective on it.
exciting for this. Very exciting for me because I have like this good prediction when they put me as underdog for everything we going through last year and against Domage too. So I think this is gonna be a better testimony when I tell like, okay, 8 times underdog and 2 times champion of PFL, Raush has a great story. So that was motivating me too, because when you are an underdog and you win, this make like, okay, who is this kid? He overcame again. He overcame again. He overcame again. So this motivated me a lot.
So how much longer do you want for, and what are your long-term goals in the sport, Raush?
Man, to be honestly, after grab that million last year was my first time I talked to. Okay, now I need to put a deadline for my career, because even I love this format of PFL to one fight every 7 8 weeks. This is very aggressive to my body. So you make these 3 4 years in a row, and you have like almost 20 fights in 4 years. So yeah, 15 fights almost in a year, in 3 years. So it's like it's too much. Maybe this. So I think like long term goals. I wanna retire. I think more fight more 6 7 years. I don't know until I have this burn, this flame in my heart, this fire. I want to be fighting, And after that, of course, I'm already investing the money to live without concerns about the how you're gonna pay the bills by the end of the month. And I wanna be a coach too. I think I wanna help the other kids to grow, maybe be a striking coach on American Top Team. I don't know. But for now, I'm thinking to do that. I'm creating some products with my brain now, and hopefully this become a success too. Uh, but that's it. I have no not. Well, I really like the idea to make a podcast. Just
Nice.
once,
Do it.
twice a week.
Do it.
I like to talk. Interview some special guests and talk with the persons. Be nice. Is I have a lot of ideas to be honest, but not in for sure what I want to do.
Now, Haush, before I let you go, man, you'd answer a couple fan questions.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Lieutenant Dan said, "What do you see as your biggest advantage over OAM?"
Uh, Watching his fights, I think I am a little bit faster than him. I could realize he's bigger than me, but I think counters. I can step a little bit faster than him. I think one advantage is that I also think I have a really good defense in the body locks, and he's a judo specialist. Is a good weapon I need to have. So I am good in the counter attacks like he are too. But I think the fact he's bigger than me make his more able to receive the body shots. I think I'm more stronger in the body. I can receive. I'm more resilient than him. I think this is my uh, best advantage against him. But it's a super fight. Every fight is different.
For sure. Dan Goldstein says, "How is fighting in a tournament seasonal format like PFL has different as far as your training goes? Like, is it harder to make weight or is it easier to maintain knowing that you're fighting so often?"
Now, for me, I always took a completely week off after the fight. I just the my next weeks are gonna work out like 2 or 3 times. Workout like very classic workout, and I take like 3 or 4 days totally out of the diet. I can eat whatever I want, like ice cream. Because when I return to the diet after these 3 4 days, I'm ready psychologically to eat clean, not to eat too much. But I give my time to rest. So maintain my body. I give my time to. The only way I found to maintain my body and like emotionally health, because the diet kill your psychological stuff. Like you feel like, "Oh, I don't want to do this anymore," and the diet has this power. So I give me a break. I give me okay, 3 4 5 days break. Eat ice cream, cookies, whatever you want. But when you finish, you finish. So return to the diet. Is the way I found to be motivated for the next fight, for the next waiting card.
Nice. And Lieutenant Dan had another question. He said, "Do you think we will ever see a PFL event in Brazil in the future?"
I think yes. I think even for after this pandemic is real is over, because in Brazil we still has the people still using masks there. So I think or the next for the next year or in 2024, definitely they're gonna make some shows there. I don't know for the main events, but definitely to like they did in Orlando this year to try find new stars, new fighters put in the show. For sure they're gonna make do that, and I hope they put me as announcer. I wanna make the propaganda for them.
Nice, man. And that'd be actually really cool to hear you do that. Now, AY said, "Are there any specific fighters that were an instant for you when you were coming up?"
Yes, Edson Barboza, and today I have the pleasure to train with him. Was a big idol for me. Fedor Emelianenko, for in my opinion, is the best fighter at all times. I love to see Michael Chandler fighting. I hope one day I fight him, and because he's really aggressive and a really strong. Make just excited fighters. I think I can make a really good fight against Michael Chandler, and Yes, this today, Charles Oliveira is like a phenomenal. I like to watch, but it's totally different of my style. So it's not inspirational, but I like to see his fight.
For sure. Those are some great fighters you mentioned. Well, Raush, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me here right now on Half the Battle. The fans can follow you at Raush Manfio on Instagram and Twitter. Raush, any message for the fans before we get out of here?
They never quit of your dreams. Never, 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 never. Even when you don't see any solution, no light in the end of the tunnel. If you put God first, I promise, I really promise, you're gonna win this. You're gonna win this battle. Don't quit. Don't quit.
Well, Raush, thanks again, man. Best of luck Friday, and I'll text you about the Brazilian spots. All right, man?
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you, bro.
All right, take care, Raush. Thanks again, man.
Bye bye.
See ya. So there you have it. That is PFL lightweight champion Raush Manfio. And what a cool guy. What an inspirational guy. I mean, he truly believes what he's saying, and you can see the results when he fights every single time. And this Friday night, live on ESPN Plus, he's taking on UFC vet OAM Olivier Aubin-Mercier. Going to be a hell of a fight for the PFL season. And guys, make sure y'all follow Raush Manfio. And for all the fans, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to Half the Battle everywhere podcasts are found. Thank you guys very much. I'll be back later this week to break down the UFC card between Josh Emmett and Calvin Kattar. That's going to be Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Follow me on Twitter at BestFightPicks. And until the next time, cash these bets.